This is my first bubbler support design, and all it is 3/4 inch PVC, and I fit these together without glue at all. Just press them together and it does great for air. So I took basically a long piece, I got it more or less measured to the end, and I made a cut. It doesn't have to be perfect, and then I did the same way with the width here. And I created the square that the top tray is going to sit on. To get air into this, I use a top hat grommet that 1/4 inch poly tubing goes into. So I use a 3/8 inch drill bit. Let me get that real quick here. This right here, and I drill into the pipe, but I actually drill it into the short pipe on one end. And then I insert the top hat grommet into it. Let me show you that. All right, there you go, fully assembled, very easy. When you assemble it, just push them in sort of tight, I mean just a little bit, get nice and level on the surface, and then all you got to do is just tap the top here, like this, here, and on here. Now you could take something light and tap it here, just don't tap it too hard, because you could crack the connection, and it's not really needed because it's very snug on its own. Okay, here is, I drilled that 3/8 inch hole and I put the top hat grommet in it, and that's what it looks like. Let's see if I can get it here. Yeah, there you go, you can see it now with better contrast. And that's all it is. So all you have to do is wet polyvinyl tubing and just push it into the pipe here, and that creates a water and airtight seal. And then it'll come out of here, and I'll show you that after I drill the holes. And all I'm going to do to drill the holes is I'm going to put 4 on each side here, just the length side, because when the air is coming in here, you don't want big holes or too many holes, because the air, you need to evenly distribute the air coming out of the holes. So if it's too big or there's too many, you're going to get like it all bubbling closest to where the air pump is and nothing on the other side. So you want it to distribute evenly in the whole tray. So I only put 4 on each side, and I evenly space them about 4 inches. I start at 14, then 10, then 6, and then 2. It's just an example. This is nothing precise. You can do it however you want to, but I put a total of 8 in there. And what I use is a number 57 drill bit here. Now this is an extension in the drill, and that's because the drill has a hard time grabbing such small drill bits. So I use an extension that's made for small drill bits. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drill on whatever the bottom that's going to be facing the bottom here. That's what I'm going to drill the holes into. So this is going to be my bottom here, so I'm going to drill direct, flip it over where the bottom's up, and then drill 4 holes directly in the top of the tubing. This drill bit is not heavy duty, so you need to not put too much. And then I'll put the other 3 in just like that. Alright, I've got the holes in, total of 8. Turn it over the way it's going to go, and I've attached the poly tubing into top hat grommet. You can see that it doesn't have to be all the way to the end, because this needs to have space to come up. And the trays, if you get a sturdy tray, these will rest on here very easily. Now these elbows will provide the real support. It's only going to be touching on 4 places, and that's these elbows here. That will allow the roots coming down to grow over the pipe like that, and that's really good. In fact, they're only going to touch the very top of each one of these elbows, and they can grow down and over. But you'll see with the roots, you'll see that they'll have like a shape of the pipe, which doesn't hurt it at all. Now, one more thing to consider with this bubbler support is that, well, I got a little piece of that PVC, is that PVC has markings on it. And if you're uncomfortable with the markings, you can take a piece of those scrubbers, nylon scrubbers, and a little soap, and just takes a little bit of elbow grease, but you can rub those right off and have a very clean product. Now, if PVC, this is it for the bubbler. That's all there is to it for the bubbler. But if PVC worries you, and I know some of my subscribers are concerned about using PVC. I personally do not have a problem with PVC at all, or vinyl, or a lot of plastics, but some people do. Unfortunately, as you can see, these trays are plastic. Now, these are HDPE food grade trays. This is not listed as food grade, but what I want to do is also provide you an option that is food grade, and I'll show you that now. We're going to make one of these, and I'm going to show you the bits and pieces. So I took a 1-inch piece of, this is PEX tubing because it's food safe, and I measured it to where it fits in the tray, the 1020, a standard 1020 tray like this, where the elbows and the PEX pipe basically go the entire length of the tray and the width of the tray. And you don't need to get super specific. In fact, I would take the section of 1 inch, and it comes in, I think, either 5 and 10 foot pieces. I bought a 10-foot piece, and just stick it against the tray. I actually turned the tray upside down and did it on the bottom of the tray so that I know when I put it in that it'll fit on the inside of the tray. So we're going to make one of these, and I pre-cut these. I just took a PVC cutting tool that's also used for PEX or any other plastic, and it's real easy to use, and they're pretty inexpensive too. So let me do that. So you just put it in there, and then you ratchet it closed like so, and it cuts through the pipe. Alright, so that's how I cut the pieces here, the length and the width pieces. Now, these are SharkBite plastic fittings. They're also HDPE, food safe, and they're used to make the corners and attach the long pieces here. Alright, what I want to do is affix this to where no glue and no metal is being used at all. And I'll take you outside and show you that in a minute. But first, we need to supply air into this, because not only is it a support, but it also provides the air coming out from both sides of the length here. And I did that with this piece here, which is a 1/4 inch outside diameter by 1/4 inch MIP. And what that'll allow me to do is put it into the tube here and attach 1/4 inch tubing, which is also food grade. And from the 1/4 inch tubing, I can then take a drip fitting and attach it to air hose. So in order to fix it to the tube here, I took a drill that size here, which is ever so slightly smaller than this plug. And this is a brass plug, and it is the same size as this plastic plug. And I drilled a hole in, and then I used this plug here with a pair of pliers, and I created a threaded pattern. Now this whole assembly doesn't need to be pressure tight. It's just going to support air. And so that's the reason why all this works. Now this fitting here, when I did that, I put a little piece of Teflon tape on there, but it probably could have been done without Teflon tape as well. So this is what it looks like assembled. I still haven't fit it together yet, and that's because I want to show you how I do it. I guess I could have done one and then assembled another one, but I'll go ahead and take it outside and show you into the garage and show you how I put it together. I'm out here at my workbench. I wanted to show you that this PEX tubing doesn't fit snugly like PVC does. The fittings just don't. And so they make attachments, several different kinds, but most common that I've seen anyway are these metal rings that you clamp down. I don't want any metal in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've already done it actually, so I'm not doing it for the first time. I'm going to heat the end here with the heat gun. This is about a $19 heat gun I bought a long time ago, and I use it for all kinds of things. But anyway, I'm going to take and heat the end here simply by holding it up like this and just getting it hot. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to put a zip tie on it and clamp it down just as hard as I can. Alright, the zip ties are on, and once it's cooled for several hours, I let it cool, I found that it has a pretty darn good secure connection. For sure good enough for air. So that's this one. These are also, they come with markings on them, and you'll see here that there's no markings on them now. I just took a nylon scrubber and with a little dish soap and scrubbed it right off. It's not a problem. And here's the completion of that bubbler. You can see here I put the threaded piece with the little slip push-in connector right there on the corner. That way it comes right out of the